Good evening. It was a costly mistake that a man says ruined his life, and now the city of Santa Fe and the state are paying him more than $500,000.
News 13's Annalisa Pardo has his story.
It was a wrong-way chase down I-25 in Santa Fe in 2022 that ended with 2 people dead. The woman responsible, Janine Jaramillo, told police she had been kidnapped by a man named Mark Lopez.
He was gonna kill me and light me on fire. There's gas in the car.
Mark Lopez?
Yes. Tell him be careful, there's gas in there.
Police made an alert to be on the lookout for a man named Mark Lopez and even included a picture. It was made for law enforcement only, but got out to the public. It was only later police learned Jaramillo made it all up and there was no suspect named Mark Lopez. State police issued a correction, but the man on the Bolo alert said it wasn't enough. That man featured on the alert is now getting a big payout after suing a number of police agencies, claiming all his personal information was wrongly publicized. When the suit was initially filed, his attorney told News 13 this.
Mr. Lopez wants some closure and some peace, and also some accountability for what happened to him and the impact that it's had on him and his family.
Santa Fe City Council recently approved the city paying $375,000 to settle the suit. And public record documents show state police is paying out $200,000. Other agencies named have been dismissed. Annalisa Pardo, KRQE, News 13.
Jaramillo, by the way, was sentenced to 2 life sentences or 60 years in prison. Earlier this year, she filed a motion to appeal her conviction.
Trailhand Bill, reporting live from South Florida. Guys, I am waiting for what may be my final kickboxing class to begin. I got like 40 minutes, man. 7:05 Wednesday night. I have to calm down because I can't lie. This story just really upset me, man. I have a question. What's the difference in people who believe police just because they're saying something, making accusations against whoever, and people who believe women just because they're saying something, making accusations against men? What's the difference there? If you watch my content, you have heard me touch on this scenario, this analogy before, and you've probably heard me say there's no difference. In all cases, accusations aren't proof, and we always need to wait for evidence. For some reason, in 2022, Janine Jaramillo, and I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, I mean no disrespect, decided that she would call the law enforcement officers up there in New Mexico, and she would say that she had been kidnapped. I was not there. I cannot verify any of this information. I will share the links in the pinned comment and description, Lord willing. This is what's being reported. After making that fraudulent call, she then got into a high-speed chase with New Mexico Johnny's Santa Fe police officer Robert Duran and retired firefighter Frank Lovato lost their lives. Again, forgive me if I'm pronouncing their names wrong. I was very confused when they opened this story up saying the incident cost 2 lives, but they never dived into that. So I myself had to do that research. And they did touch on, at the end of the story, her being sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences. I'm guessing a life sentence in New Mexico is 30 years because she had 60 years, and also sentenced on other charges for this 2022 wrong-way crash. Now, they touched on that, but they didn't say anything else about the 2 lives that were lost. So that's the information I had to go find myself, and that's how I got the information about her making this fraudulent-ass call, according to the journalist, not me, saying that a man kidnapped her. She even gave them a name, and that's how our innocent American brother enters the picture. Mr. Mark Lopez, I think his name was. Again, forgive me if I'm saying any of that wrong. So the Johnnies also believe a woman, like far too many people do, like the Back the Blue crowd definitely does when it comes to police. And next thing you know, you have this man on the damn hit list. I agree with him. I just think $500,000 was nowhere near enough for the turmoil he caused. But let's just skip over that, like he will never be able to do, and see what we can learn from this situation. Why the hell is anybody believing anybody who's making accusations without substantiated proof, man? I'm going to go back to a refrain I commonly refer to and go to, man. She got 2 life sentences. Did they say what? Let me see what the judge sentenced her. Served 2 life sentences consecutively. This means she would serve the first 30-year term before the second begins for a minimum of 60 years in prison before she is eligible for parole. So she is eligible for parole. She didn't get the LWOP. She didn't get life without. But she got 2 life sentences for fabricating a situation that put a bullseye on an absolutely innocent American's back. The Johnnies believed it. And for that, a firefighter lost his life and one of their partner Johnnies lost their lives. I'm just thinking these Johnnies should also be charged with some sense of murder, manslaughter, something. Where was the investigation? Now, let me be objective here. If someone, it doesn't have to be a woman, calls and says they're being kidnapped and they're in a car that's fleeing, I got to be honest, I'm not sure what else the cops should do. Now, again, according to the reports the journalists are giving out, not me, she was going down the wrong way. Now, so I'm not sure how she ended up colliding because I didn't go that deep in my research, and obviously they didn't say it with these 2 gentlemen. I don't know if they were in a car, on foot. I don't know those details. But again, just being objective, I don't know what the cops should do. So maybe I need to walk back a little bit that they should also be co-conspirators here or co-defendants. I would have to know more about the situation because that just unfolds in such an emergency fashion that maybe they could only try to track down the vehicle and then investigate from there. I'm not sure. So just because I don't like Johnnies, I ain't just gonna start spinning no web of lies to make them more guilty than they are. But what even brings that to mind for me is so many situations where we see their lack of investigation and it ends up costing innocent Americans, whether it be their lives, some bodily harm, or their liberty. I think this is a very tragic situation. And the way that it culminated, man, rest in peace to that firefighter. I was just listening to some tales from 9/11, and some of those firefighters, man, were just every type of man I want to be in that situation. They put themselves in harm's way very sacrificially, and it cost them the ultimate price. So praise God for men and women like that. Rest in peace to this firefighter. And then again, it cost the Johnnies one of their comrades. So I just pray for everybody involved. These situations always don't make me feel good. And for me, again, it is a reminder that no one is guilty because someone else is making accusations. And if you're one of the people that anyone demographic of humanity could come to you and make an accusation and then you're just out the window believing it, then what difference exists between you and those who believe cops just because they're making accusations? I'm glad this man, I mean, it's sad that anybody lost their life, but I'm glad this man didn't lose his life because this I don't know what kind of woman, but definitely devious woman involved him in a situation he had nothing to do with. Or maybe that was the cops' fault because they just automatically, I'm pretty sure that on that end, they didn't investigate well because they got to the point where they put out a photo of them and everything. You see what I'm saying? Wanted posters. So I have to believe they didn't investigate well there. But I'm glad in the end that bullseye didn't cost him more than it did, even though it cost him more than it ever should have. So Americans, know at any given time these things can happen to you. Know that cops are very fallible, and in most cases, domestic terrorists. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? So you have to keep that in mind. Know your rights. Teach your children to know their rights. And encourage your loved ones to as well. And again, man, just know there's no one person, no one demographic of people that are infallible and that are just innocent and that are just telling the truth because they're saying something. I am Trailhand Bill. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'm about to go kick and punch on some bags, Lord willing. Thank you if you made it this far. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you care to go a little further than that, maybe even subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out a few of the other videos on the channel. Either way, y'all be safe.